Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Hunt the Wild podcast. I'm your host, Adam Bowlds, and this is episode 6. Today on the show, we have Rod Suarmen, and we're going to talk a little bit about hunting in other countries, hunting in Mexico, and we're going to dig a little deeper into that. Rod, could you introduce yourself and tell everybody kind of your story, where you're from, and all that good stuff?
Sure, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
As always,
thanks for taking the time to get on here. I've been talking about it for a little while, and glad we finally got to it.
yep, it's always fun to talk about our passion, right? Which is
Yes,
hunting.
sir.
So a little bit about myself. I'm a city boy. I was born in Mexico City. It's one of the biggest cities in the world. But my dad was born in a very, very small town in Spain. So when he was a little kid, literally, he went to school. After he was done with school, he'd go do his homework and then grab his shotgun, his dog, and go shoot some partridges, So then he came to Mexico, and he found out that we have pretty good hunting here too. So I was born hunting since I was 4 years old. I would go around Mexico City. We have pretty decent hunting, actually. We have Bob White's about an hour, 30 minutes away. We have Moctezuma quail probably 2 hours away. We have good duck hunting an hour away, stuff like that. So I did that. And then we started doing a little bit bigger hunting, whitetails in Mexico, below Texas. And then Sonora, we started going to Sonora for mule deer, stuff like that. So been hunter since little kid, always loved it.
Is Sonora a big place? Is that like a big, like, I know here, like in the United States or whatever, everybody wants to go out west. Is Sonora like the place to go to shoot stuff? Or
Sonora is a place. We have different stuff, but for American guys, let's say bighorn sheep, mule deer, Sonora is a place. And we also have good coos deer. So for trophy hunting, it is the best state we have, for sure. We have good whitetails in the east side of Mexico, stuff like that. But the most expensive, the best hunting we have is definitely Sonora. And it's a lot of big time hunters like to go there, and a lot of them go every single year. Like, it's a hunt they don't miss. It has something special, even for me. If not, I wouldn't be over there, but it's a special place.
Totally. So did you, I know we talked, you spent a little bit of time in the United States, right? While you were in college, and were you in Florida, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Could we talk a little bit about like your time in college, maybe what you studied? Did you hunt while you're in college? I know some people kind of fall off the end when they're in college. Mm-hmm. They don't have time to mess with it. They don't have all their gear with them, maybe.
Yeah, I went to study in Florida, aerospace engineering in Embry-Riddle. It's in Daytona.
Okay.
I did not do that much hunting, like you said, because it was tough. I was playing golf as well. I was on a scholarship of golf and studying, so I did not have much time. What I did do was fish. I fished a lot of bass fishing and sea fishing. One of my best buddies used to work back then for a boat rental place. And in the Saturdays that they did not rent the boat, they would give it to us just for gas. So we would definitely take it early in the morning and come back at night. But we fished and we drank a lot of beers too.
It's a little easier probably to have fishing gear than, all the clothing and the guns. I'm sure they probably having that on campus can probably be a whole nother issue. And so.
Yeah, correct. That's nice that you guys time. It's like you did not want to wake up 4 a.m. on a Saturday. You're beat from school, golf, stuff like that. I did go out there. I did shot a turkey. That's about it. Fishing was the most I did.
Well, at least you got out and did a little something. That's better than being cooped up the whole time you were there.
Oh, for sure. We used to go camping too for a river, great bass fishing. It was a cool place. We'd take the tents out there, stay the weekend as well.
So before we kind of dive into like hunting in Mexico, I know we talked too a little bit about you hunting in Europe and Africa. Could we kind of talk? I kind of got some questions about that, like
sure,
traveling with firearms and traveling with meat and traveling with like trophies and all that. What kind of stuff have you hunted in Europe and Africa?
I've hunted in Europe is Spain, and I've done some pheasant hunting in England as well.
Okay.
Spain, obviously. Well, my dad was from there, so I went there several times, and I did hunt roe deer, and I did quite a bit of Atlantic salmon fishing in North Spain. They have very nice rivers. It's very hard to catch one,
Yeah.
but it's awesome. I mean, if you catch one, you'll be in the newspaper the next day. Like your name will be there. But it's a pretty place.
Super clean.
Yeah.
Super clean rivers. That's probably
super
I'm not used
clean.
to that here.
Amazing mountains. It's a beautiful place. It's just tough to catch one, But when you catch one, it's worth it. You asked me a little bit about traveling and guns, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, you need two things. First, you need your permit from the country where you're from to export your gun.
Okay.
For example, I live in Mexico, so my guns are registered here. So I get a temporary export permit to take my gun out. And then you need another permit from the country where you're going to get the gun in. Some countries are very easy. Some countries are a little bit harder. For you guys, gun control is pretty easy. Like Mexico, we only have one store in the whole country, and that's directly from the military. You can only buy them there.
Oh,
and
really?
It's in Mexico City, really.
Huh.
So if you want to buy a gun, you have to come here, and you need to get a permit pre-approved, which takes like 4 months.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how long ahead of time do you have to send to the other country? 4 months too?
Yeah, well, we need to. It takes a while here. Everything takes a while here. So if you want to export, you want to go hunting, you might as well do it 4 months in advance to get your export permit. Okay. You guys, it's easier. I don't remember the name right now, but it's pretty much a format that gets signed by the police. I believe it doesn't have to be military stuff, and you can take it out. And in the case of bringing guns to Mexico, normally the outfitter will get that permit for the hunter. Like we do it when we bring our hunters. They give us we send them a format. They give us the gun, the brand, the serial number, how many bullets they're bringing in. And we go to the military and we get their permit to bring it in temporarily as well.
So do you usually file for the permit? Let's just say you're probably more comfortable knowing what you're going to get in Mexico, but let's say you're going to go to Europe or Africa. Are you booking the hunt and then filing for the permit, or are you filing for the permit first and hopes? I mean, you don't want to book and then find out you can't get the permit, right?
We're booking first because they're here in Mexico. They're going to ask you for letters signed by the outfitter that you're going over there. And they ask for a couple stuff that you need from the actual place where you're going. So you have to book first. And but Mexico's a different story. I mean, it's hard to have guns here. It's a hassle.
Is it the same way when you go to another country like that? Do you have to go through an outfitter and do all that stuff as far as the guns and the permits too?
Yes.
Okay.
You do.
So they want verification of
they want verification where you're going and that you're actually going there. And they give you a time limit to bring the gun back.
Okay. But
the other thing is, well, if you're a comfortable guy and I don't know, you're not going to the toughest hunt or you can borrow a rifle. I opt for that one sometimes because it's just a lot of hassle for us. Mm-hmm. But if you're an American, I would probably take my gun,
Yeah. Okay, so we let's talk a little bit about you being an outfitter. Can you tell everybody? We're gonna put up on the screen here the name of your outfit, but just for everybody who's listening, through Apple or Spotify or Google, they won't see this. Can you tell everybody the outfit you own? And I know we mentioned maybe where it was at already, but we can go over that again too.
Sure. We're named Guro Outfitters. It's Guro Outfitters. And we are in Sonora, Mexico. What some Americans call Old Mexico. Okay. It's known for Old Mexico.
How did you get involved in this? I have to know how that got started. Did you just wake up one day and you're like, man, I'm going to be an outfitter?
Nah, it's a weird story, but I mean, I always loved hunting Sonora. It was always my favorite hunt, always. And I've made very good friends over there since I started hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Like my guides were my age, a little bit younger than me. We started becoming great friends. And one day, one of the guides told me, "Hey, you want to open an outfitter?" And I'm like, never thought about it, but why not? And this was only 4 years ago. So, I mean, we know many ranches. We know everybody. We know the owners. We know the areas. We know a lot. We've been hunting them for many years. So we're like, sure, why not? Let's give it a shot. And that's literally how it started.
Do you have to get? I'm assuming you have to get tons and tons of permits to like do that, right?
You need to get a specific license for outfitting, and then you need to, get the tags pretty much.
Okay. So you're free range, right? It's not like fenced, or is it fenced?
Correct. We could do a high fence sheep hunt, but it's on a request. We don't do that. Like right now for this season, we have 4 ranches, and they're all free range. 2 of them are sheep ranches, 2 of them are mule deer ranches. Well, we have 5 actually. 2 sheep ranches, 2 mule deer ranches. One of those mule deer ranches has coos as well, and we have another coos ranch that we outfit for coos. And it does have mule deer, but we don't outfit mule deer directly.
Now, are those something that you guys work out with a landowner, or is that something that you guys own
Nope.
outright?
We lease them literally from the landowners.
Okay.
And we take care of the ranches. But yeah, we specifically lease them. We have some short-term leases on some long-term leases on others. Depending on how good we see that ranch is going to be or how much future it has, that's how we go about it. And we're always looking for better ranches. Like we probably look at 30 ranches every year.
Yeah,
like we go scout them, see if it's worth it, if we like it, if we don't like it. If we do, we might give it a try, but maybe at least for 2 years. And if we love it and we know it's going to be consistent and it's what we want, we'll try to do a long-term lease and manage the ranch and try to get it better every year. Because, we're a small outfitter and our clients are very important for us. And we always try to do whatever we can, to have a happy client. We don't like clients that go back unhappy, and sadly it happens in Sonora quite a bit. Because there's bad outfitters out there, and
so you guys
a
like
lot
to
of guys
have
are being scammed as well, but
that's never good. That's never good.
No, never good.
A lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Could you kind of put into perspective maybe like acreage size, so kind of give people a understanding of how big like one of these ranches would be? I know
Sure.
they all have to vary.
Yeah. We have our biggest mule deer ranch is 60,000 acres.
Okay.
The other one we have is 10,000 acres for mule deer. The coos deer the coos deer ranch is about 35,000 acres. And the 2 sheep ones, one of the ranches is pretty big. It's like 50. I'm converting here because we know them in hectares, so we need to, and you guys do acres. So one of the sheep ranches is about the same, about 40,000. Okay. But I'd say the sheep area, it's about 12 to 14,000.
So you'd say probably 10,000 on the low end, and I don't know, 40 to 50, 60,000.
Yeah, on the high end. There's some bigger ranches as well, but the bigger doesn't mean the better. Sometimes it's just hard to manage that much area. Mm-hmm. So we'd rather go with something mid-size that has good amount of deer and that has good genetics, because and then there's some areas that are just more productive than others. That's how hunting goes. You have like this ranch is 60,000. Well, there's a couple areas that are very productive, and some areas is just, they just don't love it there.
Are you guys generally the only outfitter that's on that piece, or do you share that?
Great question. We are the only outfitter in the areas. we try to do that because, well, if you're sharing, it's always going to be a problem sooner or later. Dates, who's taking who hunter when, it's just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing we do is that most outfitters don't in Sonora is we only use half of the tags that the ranch has.
Okay.
So if the ranch has, for example, the small ranch has 4 tags for mule deer, and we only take 2 hunters. So pretty much we only hunt that ranch 1 week out of the year. That's it. Why? Well, we try to give them a better chance,
Yeah.
Some ranches,
otherwise it's like you're pressuring everybody to fill a tag, and you've already shot some of them, and it totally makes sense.
Yeah, and it's trophy hunting. Hunts in Sonora are quite expensive, so hunters are expecting to get at least a chance at a good mule deer, So we just try to do that to make sure they have a better chance. I mean, there's no guarantee, but there's definitely a better chance.
So you guys don't own these properties, you lease them, but are you doing any kind of like land management? Do you guys like here people plant food plots and do all that stuff? Is that like a thing down there?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna back up a little bit and go like back in the day. Sonora's always been known for big bucks, But back in the day, the population was not very big.
Okay.
Because nobody helped them out there. That desert it's a tough life over there, and nobody put water, nobody put food. They were like literally on their own. So population never boomed till probably, I'd say like 10 years ago. A lot of ranches, well, some started earlier, like 15 years ago, started putting water, putting food, and population started increasing little by little. And right now, there's a lot of deer. Like when I first went hunting in Sonora, I'm talking about, 1995. You'd see maybe, 5 to 15 deer in the whole day. That was about it. I'm going to put the same ranch. Like I've hunted that ranch for many years. Like right now, you'd see at least 30.
Oh, so double then.
Yeah, double in that ranch. Our big ranch, our 60,000 acre ranch, is probably one of the most densely populated ranches out there. You can see over 150 deer some days, which is incredible. Back in the day, there was no chance you could see not even 25. It would be impossible.
And that's from land management.
That's from land management. We try to put literally per around 2,400 acres, we try to put one water source with some food source.
Okay.
That's our average.
What's the food source you guys generally like to use?
Normally we put raisins, literally, like raisins. They like them a lot, and you can get them at a good price because Sonora has great productivity. So for wine, but since the vineyards are like they're not old enough, the grapes are not worth that much, and like the ones that go to waste, they sell it to you pretty cheap. So we do that. We also do alfalfa for the hunting season. We try to put alfalfa. I'd say the 3 weeks before we go hunt that ranch, and meanwhile we're hunting there, we try to put alfalfa.
Okay.
And water. But that's about it. Some guys put orange peels. Some other guys put like actual deer feed and stuff like that. But
so it's usually bait piles then, not actual like sowed in crops. Is the alfalfa sowed in, or it's just like thrown out there too?
Normally, no. We buy the, how do you call it?
A bale.
Yeah, the bale of alfalfa. But for example, our small ranch does have alfalfa fields in the close surroundings. So deer will go in there to eat, and then they'll come back into the ranch. I mean, they'll go out there at night, But yeah, there's some production, some alfalfa being planted somewhere around there, but not in all the areas. Like our big ranch does not have alfalfa in the surroundings.
So it just kind of depends on the ranches.
It depends where it is.
How far apart are the ranches usually? Are they within a couple miles of each other?
We try to keep them. Well, we try to keep them around maximum of 1 hour away from each other.
Okay.
It just makes it simpler to manage. But I mean, one of the sheep ranches we have is very far, but that's just, there's nothing we can do about that one, but we just go hunt there 1 week and then we're done. So it's literally in the middle of nowhere. It's a great place. Like,
I'd say if most people travel that far, they probably don't mind to drive a little over an hour.
They don't mind it at all. And it's you're driving in a dirt road and you can see deer. I mean, it's just wild out there,
Part of the adventure.
It's part of the adventure, correct.
Yeah. What's it like to get a tag in Mexico? Like, if I want to come there and hunt, do I go to a government website? Do I go through an outfitter? I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Correct. Mexico's different. There's all the tags are landowner tags.
Okay.
Landowner tags, but you could divide it. Landowner tags, I mean, let's say I own a ranch and that ranch gets surveyed in Sonora to see how many deer you have. And depending on how many deer they count, and the area you have, they give you so many tags per year. The other thing, there's the closest thing we have here to public land, I'd say, would be ejidos. They're called ejido, and those are pieces of land that are owned by, let's say there's a small town with 40 families, and they own that land.
Okay.
But what happens in those places is that normally there's more hunting pressure because there's a lot of guys and everybody takes hunters there and blah, 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 blah. Everybody's fighting to make some money. So normally it's a little harder hunting in those.
Let me ask you this before we move on real quick. If you're not from that town or whatever, or let's say you're from another town, are you allowed to come to that town and hunt that piece of property, or do you have to be from that town?
You don't have to be from that town. You can sell the hunts with the tags you have, but that's the issue. Let's say there's 40 owners and they say there's 20 tags, and then they give, 20 guys one each tag, and everybody's gonna put different hunters in there at different times. You never know. So it's cheaper. They're cheaper hunts normally. Okay. You can get a good buck. Some places, yes. Some places, your odds are not good at all, But that's the closest we have to public land. Okay. The rest is owned, and there's two kinds of outfitters per se. There's some guys that own the ranch that they outfit themselves. Some guys do that. Normally they're a little bit cheaper than us per se, that we lease the ranch. But the problem they have is that's the ranch, and if it's not working, it's not working, and they can't move on to nowhere else. Right. It's what it is.
It can create a problem for them.
Correct.
You said they come in and they tell you how many tags. Is that something that the outfitter has to pay for? Or does the government automatically come in and do that?
The government does that. Does that, and they do survey. It depends, every 3 years. I mean, they don't do it every year, But let's say a good rule of thumb for Sonora is you're going to get a tag for mule deer per 2,500 acres.
Okay.
Somewhere, that's the ballpark in a ranch that has deer,
I was kind of wondering how they surveyed it, if they were because that's a lot of property to go out and try to count deer, and
they come at night, spotlight, and then they do some crazy math, and boom,
just
there it is.
Close.
Get close, and here you go. How many acres? Here are your tags. That's how it goes.
They probably kind of have it dialed in a little bit to 2,500, just probably from data over the years. I bet that's
that's about it. Correct. If they see a lot more deer than normal, they'll be like, "Oh, let's throw a couple more," and if they see less, let's take some out.
So I was gonna ask you what a tag there costs, but I guess that's dependent on the outfitter or whoever's got the tag in their hand. They can probably charge whatever they want for it.
Correct. It's the market that decides the value. Sonora has very different prices. I mean, the most expensive outfitter I know, he charges about $18,000 per mule deer hunt. The cheapest I know, it's probably around 9,000, 8,000, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Most of them are between 11 and 13. I mean, you can not go by the price is going to be the best outfitter, but I'd say if you go in the low end, you're probably going to come out not very happy.
Okay.
That's
as far as like
it's not a rule of
lodging
thumb,
and
but
food and experience, or just like
overall
success
experience
rate.
and success rate. I'd
Okay.
go with all mixed in.
Okay.
So I'd say anywhere between 11,000 and 13,000, you're probably in a good ballpark range.
And then what did you say a tag would cost on like the public land?
Depends where you go, but maybe you can get a hunt for 6,000, maybe
Oh, really? That high?
7,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
it won't be. It won't be cheap. It won't be a lot cheaper. That's
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because no matter what, the tag is a tag, and it does have value.
right. That totally makes sense. Do
And-
they? I know you don't probably mess with it a whole lot, but do those like towns usually use that money towards putting it back into that property? Have you noticed that, or no? No.
No, because it's everybody's property, so it's nobody's property.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna go put water and food out there. Somebody else is gonna come and kill the deer. That if you put the water here, and then your neighbor's gonna take a hunter and go, he's gonna kill deer that are there.
Yeah.
So that's the issue with those. I mean, you'll still see the Sonora Desert. You still have a chance at a good buck because they just appear out of nowhere. It's just magically, boom, oh, there's a 200-incher right there in the middle of nowhere. So, but I mean, you do have a chance, but probably not near as good as some other places.
Yeah, I know a lot of like the money that goes tags here, in the United States goes back into, state fish and wildlife areas and stuff. So I was kind of curious if that was like lining somebody's pocket or if they were trying to, yeah.
I mean, some states in Mexico have not done very good, but Sonora is one of them that has done it very good because it's a lot of money that comes into the state, from hunting. So like the population of mule deer, we can clearly see how much better it is. And the sheep, we have probably twice as much sheep as we had 15 years ago. So we're doing good in the Sonora state. I mean, populations are just, there's sheep back in the day were very, very scarce. Right now, there's a lot of them. And that's been because of hunting and conservation. Now, a lot of the conservation has been done by private owners of the land, but the government has helped a lot.
I'm going to skip around here a little bit.
Sure.
But let's say I come there and I go on a hunt and I got some meat and I want to bring it home. How do I do that? I mean, is that super regulated?
You can't. You cannot take the meat, not the meat.
Wow.
The meat, you're not allowed. You can take the hide and the horns.
Okay.
The meat is not allowed because crossing borders, this and that, it's just not allowed. For the hive, it has you need to have it salted and you need to freeze it for certain period of time before you can cross the border.
How long are we looking at?
It's 24 hours.
Oh, it's only 24
yeah,
hours.
But the problem is, those ranches are in the middle of nowhere. We don't have freezers in many of them. So it can be an issue. The other thing is, when did you kill your buck? You just killed it and you need to go home. You can't take it. Now, normally it's not an issue. Normally we take care of the hide and we'll cross the border ourselves. Because we have an outfitter license, so we can cross your animal and then we'll ship it to you. That's the easiest way. The other way is export. You need to get somebody to export it. It's more expensive. But right now, because of COVID, Mexicans cannot cross the border through land to the US. So we cannot send, I still have 2 mule deer from last year. And we're either deciding if our clients want us to export it or just wait because they're going to come back this year to hunt and take them themselves this year. So that's with mule deer, coos deer, javelina, all that. For the desert bighorn, it has to be exported.
What's the reason behind that?
It has a different permit. It's a CITES. It's called. It's for special animals, and it's
Okay.
a bigger deal. So it has the horns drilled. It gets a plug. It gets an export permit. It gets a CITES, and then the exporter takes it to the wildlife in the border. They inspect the hive, the horns,
So they're
all
looking
the
for like
paperwork.
they're looking for insects and different
Oh,
stuff,
if it's got
invasive.
ticks, that thing ain't crossing the border. Like that simple. So it needs to be very clean. But our exporter cleans. I mean, leaves the hives perfect, and he takes care of all of the sheep. And
So there's a guy that does just that. He preps them,
yes,
for shipping and all.
we have our exporter, and he literally exports sheep pretty much, but like mule deer now and then, especially now with the COVID, he probably exported I don't know how many mule deer this year, but a lot.
So you guys did hunt then this year with COVID and all that going on?
Yeah, we were scared we weren't gonna sell and stuff, but yeah, at the end we did great. We shot three sheep and one coos and 3 mule deers.
Yeah, people probably aren't super worried because they're not around a whole lot of people when they get there, right? But
Correct.
I
Once
guess
you
maybe
get to
traveling.
Once you get to the ranch, it's hey, there's nothing out here. Yeah, but it's just the plane. The plane is that's about it.
So are you a guide? Are you just a businessman? Do you go out on these hunts or?
Yes, I do. And that was my first concern when I was like, all right, let's be an outfitter. And I'm like, how am I going to feel when some guy next to me kills a 200 incher? I'm not going to feel good probably. And I was very surprised actually. The first hunt was bighorn sheep hunt actually. And when you get it done, it's a huge satisfaction. Like it's unreal. It's almost like if you hunted it. So I was like, damn, it's much better than what I thought.
Did you feel like you did? You feel like you did all the work mostly besides pull the trigger? I kind of always wondered how guides felt about that.
It's not all the work, but for sheep hunting, I do take another guide with me. He's the master guide for sheep. He's been hunting sheep for I don't know how many years. So I'm like the second guide on the sheep hunts. I mean, you don't do all the work, but you do work hard. You probably work harder than if you were hunting sometimes. I mean, you give it all.
Do you find that your clients, maybe the returning ones do, but do you find like the first timers that they don't know a whole lot, or do you feel like they're pretty educated and like they kind of know what to do and what to expect?
I'd say they do know, but the eyesight is not that good.
Yeah.
In general, like it's a little harder for them to see the animals. I'd say that's the biggest downfall. The rest, they know. Most of them can shoot very, very well. They can walk it. They can do everything, but the spotting them, I mean, their eyes are not trained for the desert either. It's most of them. Some of them is the first time they've been to hunting in the desert. So it's not that simple. You need to get used to it. And I'm pretty used to it. Like I said, my master sheep guide will spot sheep with 8 power binoculars 2 miles away. So it's like, Jesus, I mean, it's incredible.
You gotta have a trained eye for it.
Yeah.
I feel like they get better every year when they return. They
they get better by the day. By the day, they get better.
As they learn the terrain.
Last days. They get it pretty fast.
What's the hunting culture like in Mexico? I have not even a clue. What's that like? Is it big business? Is it like Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's here? Scent control and tree stands, and what's it like?
Nothing. There's nothing here.
No advertisement on anything.
I'd put it this way: from middle of Mexico south, there's no hunting. There's some hunting up north. Like in Sonora, there's some hunting culture. In Monterrey, which is a big city below Texas, there's a lot of hunting culture as well. Apart from that, there's not much.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know how many hunting licenses there's in Mexico, but I'm guessing maybe not even 200,000 is my guess. Okay. So let's say there's 200,000 hunters in 100 and I think we're like 113 million. So there's not much at all, especially here in Mexico City. You know, a lot of them, they're city guys. I mean, it's not very well seen.
Okay. How do
overall.
hunters get to know each other, like become hunting buddies there? Is it usually through like an outfit or something? They meet people?
Well, back in the day, it was harder, but nowadays with social media and stuff, here in Mexico, there's an app called WhatsApp. It's it's like texting, but it's an app. And let's say we have a group of young hunters, and we are like 160 guys in that group.
Oh, okay.
But that's about it. Like, but you're putting in like most of the actual hunters from the country are in that chat, and it's only like 170. You know, there's not many.
That's insane.
Like I said, Monterrey, yeah, there's many guys, but here in Mexico City, not that many.
So is hunting? I know that maybe the culture's not as thick as it is here. Is it pretty generally accepted in Mexico, or are people like, oh no, you're a big bad hunter, you know?
Most of them don't like it,
about?
but I don't talk about it, to be honest. It's just, for me, it's just a waste of time. They're never going to get it, and I'm not up here to explain it to them, you know? I sometimes tell them, go eat rocks then, you know? I mean, that's about it.
The hunting culture here is so big, like, it's big, but it's small, and I know that people like still are very against it. So I can only imagine what it's like there, where you know you only have 160 guys in a chat. It's like most of the country. I can imagine most people are not like ready to sit down and talk about it. Yeah. So yeah, you just kind of
some guys are trying to actually sit down and talk about it to get it better. I mean, and I like that. I appreciate that from them, but it's just not easy. You know, it's hard work to convince people that hunting is conservation. For them, their brain just explodes when you tell them that, you know. But
a lot of people don't want to hear
that's the truth. I mean, that's just the honest truth. Without hunting, there wouldn't be any sheep or, I mean, any deserts in Sonora. And right now, because of hunting, we have doubled the population, you know. I mean, it's pretty clear. But
it's brought them back, hasn't it? For sure.
Yeah, of course.
It shows in the numbers.
Yeah.
So your outfit, what's that like? Where do people stay? Are they staying in a hotel? You got like a cabin for them? Are they eating the meat that they shoot? What's kind of like, maybe give us a rundown. Like I get off the plane. Now what? Do I take a taxi to you? You pick me up at the airport? Run us through the whole trip.
The whole hunt.
Yeah. The whole experience maybe.
Yeah, sure. Our mule deer hunts are 6 full hunting days, plus plus 2 travel days. So in this case, you fly into Hermosillo, Sonora, which is the capital of Sonora. Okay. There's direct flight from Phoenix. That's the easiest way. Or you can fly through Mexico City, but it's nah. The best thing is
advised.
It's not advised, but the issue is the plane gets packed because I mean, hunters in January, just I don't know how many rifles come out of that plane that lands every day, but trust me, there's a lot of rifles coming out of that plane. So they do get booked pretty fast. Once you get there, we pick you up. Either me and a driver or a driver. It depends where I am. You know, if I'm just switching hunters, I might not be there because we need to do some stuff over at the ranches and stuff. Meanwhile, so a driver will go pick them up who speaks English, obviously. And I mean, he knows the faces, who's coming, who's not. And drive.
Let me stop you there for a second. Where do most of your clients come from? United States, or they come from all over?
United States.
Yeah, like almost all of them.
I have a couple Mexicans, but I'd say 90% are American.
Okay. So you're picking us up at the airport.
At the airport. Okay. We're driving 3 hours to the town where my guides live, my associate lives, everybody. Okay. And from there, we'll probably switch cars. And we'll get to the hunting pickup trucks. And we'll drive to the ranch. The big ranch is actually very close to the city. It's like 30 minutes away. Oh, wow. And well, I'm gonna go for the mule deer hunt in this explanation, and the 10,000 acre ranch is about 40 minutes, so it's also pretty close. Once we get there, normally we're getting there just before dark, so we try to check the rifles out, make sure they're sighted in.
Okay.
And then we'll have a dinner. All of our dinners are cooked outside in the grill. Okay. Like we like to do dinners that are grilled, either be ribeye, filet. I mean, we have a great chef, and I mean we think food is important. You know, I mean the whole experience is important, so we want to make it good. We also send the hunters a questionnaire beforehand to make sure we know what they like, what they don't like, and what they like to drink. So if they don't like fish, we're not going to put fish, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff. I mean, something basic, but we want to make sure we don't give you stuff that you don't like, and whatever you love, we'll try to do more of that.
Is it usually just like one guy that comes in, or is it him and his buddy, or is it him and some other random guy from the United States, or how's that work?
It depends on the ranch, but the most we do is 3 hunters at a time. Okay. And that's in the big ranch. That's it. Okay. No more. And we only do it 2 weeks. Like we only take 6 hunters. We do 3 guys 1 week, 3 guys other week. Okay. If they're buddies, they're obviously welcome to come 3 guys. If they're just alone, they do know there's going to be other hunter. Well, in the smaller ranch, it's only 2 guys, and the other one there's 3 guys. So they know there's going to be 2 other hunters, and there's going to be 1 more hunter.
Do very many clients come like let's say I come and I want to shoot, you know, a deer or whatever. Can I bring my wife and her just tag along with us the whole time? Is that something people do? You know, bring their buddy along.
This year I have 2 guys that want to bring their wives.
Okay.
They might just coincide and come both together, you know. I even told her, hey, I have another guy who wants to bring his wife as well. We have a separate fee for that, for companion. In this case, one of the hunters, her wife wants to kill a coos if there's an opportunity, and the other guy, her wife wants to kill a management mule deer.
Okay.
So in this case, both wives want to shoot something, if possible. You know, it's not prepaid. Like the mule deer hunts are prepaid and there's no money back. You know? Right. In this case, we're going to give them like, okay, if a good coos pops out, because go ahead and shoot him and we'll charge you a trophy fee. Okay. Same with the management buck. If some management buck pops out and you want to shoot him, you can go ahead and we'll just charge you a trophy fee. You know? So
are they, would they be charged for just lodging or whatever? Probably.
Correct. It's just for lodging and food. I mean, that's it. And if they shoot something, but by something, I mean a trophy mule, management mule deer or a coos. Because the mule deer, we include a javelina. So if her wife wants to shoot the javelina, it's fine. You know, no problem. Okay. They can shoot coyotes as well. Bobcat. I mean, predators, you can shoot predators as well. Okay. So that's how that would go. A lot of sheep hunters do bring a friend normally. We get that a lot. Is
it a reason behind that? Because it's such an experience.
It's a very expensive hunt. It's a once in a lifetime hunt. You probably want to go there with your best buddy, you know?
Yeah.
So they do that a lot. Yeah. Just to have more fun. And it helps us out too, because normally the friends can videotape some part of it. Meanwhile, we're doing because our goal is to kill something big. We try to videotape, but that's not our goal by any means. So the friend helps us out normally.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I kind of got involved in a little bit of self-filming myself. But I was going to ask you, do very many people record that, or do you guys provide that as an extra fee or a service? I mean, I would want that on film, I would think.
We can definitely do it for an extra fee. I have a great cameraman, but it would have to be an extra. If not, we try to do the best we can. But I mean, we're putting our phones in the scope, and it's in the middle of that. We're the guides. We're concentrated on not losing where that ram goes. You know, our minds are somewhere else. So they're definitely not on the filming. Okay. So like this year we had 2 guys sheep hunting with friends, and we actually got the videos of them. Not the best videos out there, but we got videos, you know. It's better than nothing.
So if a guy wants to come down there, I guess he can just make his wife video the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Okay.
haven't had wives till this year, like I said, but we have two guys that want to bring their wives.
So we get off the plane, we come eat. Are
Yeah.
we eating?
Yeah.
What? I got to get off topic again. What are you doing with all that meat that you're,
That we're killing?
Yeah, that people can't take home. Are you feeding that to the clients?
We divided between the guides and the drivers and the chef, and I ship some to my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're feeding them whatever they want, steaks from the store,
Steaks,
whatever they request.
We eat very well. I mean, we have, like I said, a great chef, and he's very, very good actually. So we eat a lot and we eat good.
I can kind of picture. I'm trying to get a picture in my mind. I picture like an outside grill and like an awning, and maybe some tiki torches burning or something.
Yeah, and in the afternoon, well, we do that because everybody is tired, but everybody wants to have a beer around the fire. Meanwhile, the chef is cooking, talk about how their day was and stuff. So that's what we try to do every dinner outside. Well, we cook outside, we eat inside, or sometimes outside, depending on the cold. Because in January at night, it does get pretty chilly out there.
Okay, so I show up, you pick me up at the airport, I eat dinner. Where am I laying my head at nighttime? In a tent? In a nice lodge?
It varies, but it doesn't vary that much. We definitely do not lease ranches that are not properly equipped. What do I mean by properly equipped? It's not a 5-star hotel. It's not a Ritz, but you will have a toilet, hot running water. I mean, you'll have everything you need, to take showers, and you will have a bed as well and a pillow. Okay. Normally, we advise clients to bring a sleeping bag just for hygiene. It's hard for us to bring back sheets, clean sheets, put sheets. It just makes it easier. We will provide towels, pillows, bring your sleeping bag. That's it.
Do you find very many people are, they like that as part of the experience, kind of maybe being a little rougher than what they normally are used to, maybe at home? I mean, we get so used to being at home. Do you think they enjoy that kind of like I'm out hunting? It's a little more rugged. Like it's kind of part of the whole experience, I would think.
I think it's part of the whole experience, but it's not as tough as you guys. Like you guys go out west and you guys camp out there with horses and you go out there at the top of the mountains. That's rough, This is nor there nor in Europe. Like Europe, in Spain, you're staying at a nice hotel and you hunt like 10 minutes away from there, and hunting is easy. This is in between. Okay. You're in the desert, but you do have a house. You have a full kitchen. You have tables. You have your bed. You have your bathroom. I mean, you're all set. But it's like I said. The big ranch has a very nice house. Actually, it's got a bar. It's got a great table. I mean, it's above average. The other ranches are good. They're nice. But
is that something I would know if I were to book a hunt? Do I know which ranch I'm going to be staying at?
Yes, of course. We discuss what you want, and I try to give you the best odds of what you're looking for.
Okay.
For example, our big ranch has tons of deer, like I said, but the genetics are a little bit worse than the other ranch. But your odds of not shooting a 175 plus are very slim, But your chances of shooting a 200 are not that good either. But your range from 175 to 195, it's pretty good. I mean, you're going to see bucks every day. I mean, you can probably take a shot at a deer, a 175 plus every day. The other ranch, you'll see less deer. But if you see a big mature deer, he's probably going to be a shooter.
Yeah. So everybody knows, everybody's on the same page. They don't just show up and not know which ranch.
No, they know exactly where they're going. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, I mean, some outfitters have a big piece of land and they just take you there and they'll go wherever they think might be the best. But here we do stick to that ranch. Like I will sell you that hunt and you're going to that ranch and those are your dates and that's it.
Where's the guide stay at? So you're taking a guy and his wife, or I don't know, a couple guys to a place and they eat and they lay down. Is the guide going somewhere else and sleeping? He's sleeping in that house. He got his own place.
We have 3 rooms in that house. This is a small ranch. So one room is for one couple. The other room is for the other couple. And we just go into the other room and probably I'll sleep in the other room with 1 or 2 guys. And maybe the chef will sleep in the kitchen with the other 2 guys.
you feel that's important? You feel like they connect with them a lot better when they stay, they probably mingle a little more if they're staying in the same house, like at breakfast and all that stuff. They probably get to know each other a lot
Yeah,
faster that
we
way.
try to we like I said, we're very small and our team is the same always.
Okay.
So we're like friends. We all become friends, and like the guys who come back every year, I mean, they're very happy to see the guides and stuff.
Right.
And I mean, we're always the same guys. The chef is the same, the main driver is the same, the guide is the same. I mean,
Yeah, like
so
catching up with old friends.
yeah, we do try to make it that way. And most guys do actually like that, to feel part of like the whole group.
Yeah.
And it's not a very big group. Like when we're sheep hunting, it's only the hunter and us.
Okay.
And if they bring somebody else, that's it. But their friend or whatever. But there's nobody else hunting. I mean, it's just you. And like I said, here it's only 2 more guys, and then the other ranch is 1 more guy. So, and another thing I try to do, like I have 2 guys that they don't know each other yet. They're coming together this year. I put them on purpose. I know they're going to become best friends. They're just the same. I mean, I know it.
Yeah. You do questionnaires and all that stuff, and
and I've been with them hunting. I've been 2 seasons hunting with one season. They're gonna love each other. I mean, that's for sure. They have a lot to talk about,
So I go to bed. Do I set an alarm? What time you guys getting me up?
Nah, we'll get you up. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get you up. It varies. Definitely before sunrise, that's for sure. In Sonora, we do a lot of high racking, which is literally the pickup truck has in the back part a tower.
Okay.
And you go up there and you drive slowly looking for deer. So if we're going to do that, you probably get up a little bit later. That if you're going to go go see the sunrise in a mountain in glass, which we also do that. Sometimes, we put cameras out there and stuff. And if we know there's a good buck around, we'll probably try to get up high, a good glassing point, and literally just be very, very patient because we know he's around. So it's a matter of time probably till it pops out somewhere.
Are you usually staying out so you probably have breakfast in the morning and then
we have a big breakfast in the morning. Normally we go out and we do come back for lunch.
Okay.
Simply because it gets hot in the midday and they do not move much. Now, sometimes, I mean, if we know there's a buck we know he's around, we definitely know he's around, we will take lunch and we will not come back,
Every time's different, I'm sure.
Yeah, it depends what we see in the cameras, how we proceed, But I always like at the beginning, the first day, maybe go around as much as we can of the ranch, see movement, see where we stumble across, check out the cameras, see if there's something new. Because in the rut, which is when we hunt in January, bucks change from day to day. I mean, it's incredible. There's a buck, and the next day, a buck will kick him out, and he'll be there for 2 days, but only 2 days. And then if you don't get him in those 2 days, he's gone, and you'll never see him again. So you got to be checking constantly the cameras to see what's popping up. So I like to go around the first day just to see what's up.
Are you? I want to talk about 2 things. I want to talk about temperature there, and I also want to talk about your cameras. Are they cell cameras are like a big thing here now, where you don't have to. Are you familiar with cell cameras?
The ones that send you the picture?
Yeah, it's a big thing that people use here now. But I use the old school where you got to pull the cards. What are you guys using?
We pull the cards. Most of Sonora doesn't have good signal.
Okay.
In the case of the big ranch, we do have signal in most places, but still we use the cards.
You just usually take a laptop or something with
we
you.
Take a laptop
on site.
Yeah, because we've tried many adapters, they don't work. Just the laptop works. So we take a laptop, and the driver literally will change the SD card and check out. Meanwhile, he's driving, he's popping the pictures.
Okay. And
so
then,
that's not.
Go ahead.
No.
I wanted to touch on temperature a little bit too, because I have no idea. You said it gets hot. Does it get chilly there at night?
Yeah, I mean, in January, it's Sonoran Desert. Let's say it's Arizona, but a little bit further south. So you can wake up and be like 25 degrees. And by midday, you can be 85.
Yeah. So
it changes a lot. Like in the high rack in the morning, the car is moving. You're up there. I mean, your face will get cold, And then by 9 a.m., you're starting to take your jacket off, and then you take your other sweater off, and then you want to jump into a water by midday, And then the night it'll get chilly again.
What do people wear for clothing when they come hunt there? Is there a specific brand people like to wear? I mean, how super camouflaged do you have to be? I mean, here everyone wears, pretty camo because we're standing in tree stands, like 15, 25 yards from a deer. But out there, I mean, does it matter that much?
It always helps.
Okay.
Most hunters bring whatever they have, to be honest. Most sheep hunters bring kuyu most of the time.
Okay.
I personally use, there's a brand called King's Camo, and they have a desert shadow camouflage, which is literally the desert from Sonora and Arizona. So me and my guides, we personally use that one, but that's us.
Yeah,
it's not like I tell my hunters, hey, buy this. I mean, doesn't matter, but we do use it just because, I mean, I like it,
Do you guys ever run into like, I lost my jacket at the airport or I forgot it at home? What does the guy do if he gets there? And
you have no idea what we go through. They've forgotten passports. We've forgotten the camera. It took us. Then they went back and they couldn't find it. We went back the next day and we did find it, but it was in the middle of nowhere. It's not that easy to find a camera in the middle of the desert, but we did find it. Hats, jackets, gloves, you name it.
Okay.
Backpacks. Sheep hunting. They shot a sheep and they left the backpack way on the top. They had to go back all the way.
Oh,
not a fun day. Yeah. And it was a tough day. They spotted him early morning. They ended up killing him all the way up to like 4:40 in the afternoon. It was a tough day.
So if I forget my good clothing, is there somewhere around there I can get clothes? Or
yes, that you can actually.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
I kind of wondered about that because if people are packing on a trip, it's easy to forget stuff. And you get all the way out there and get ready to go hunting, and I don't know, you might get hot, might get cold. You got the wrong clothing. It kind of makes it hard.
You can definitely buy some decent stuff over there.
Okay.
Like it will put you through the trip, no problem.
Okay.
I mean, the most important thing for me is boots. I mean, if you're going sheep hunting, bring a good pair of boots. I mean, that would be for me the must.
Okay. What would you recommend?
I like Kenner Trek personally. Okay. A lot of guys
I'm sorry,
like Scarpa and stuff, but I like Kenner Trek. They're good.
Just preference. Yeah, I'm used to wearing rubber boots here. That probably wouldn't be the right thing to take there and hike around.
You're not going to make it very far.
So what happens? You're checking cameras and you're scouting and everything. What happens if you shoot your animal on the first day? You packing up and going home, or you're like, oh man, I might want to shoot something different? Or
you always have the option of going back. Normally for sheep hunts, you go back. I mean, once the sheep hunt is done, you go back. Last year we had a guy who shot it the first day, and we're like, "You want to go back?" He's like, "No." We're like, okay, well, let me see what we can do, and we put out a coos hunt for him. Okay. So we switched ranches. We actually did switch ranch, and we went for coos, and he shot a nice coos. And then he left his whole hunt was like 6 days between sheep and coos. But normally, in the small ranch that we do have coos, you can, if you shoot your mule deer, you can go try to shoot a coos. You can shoot coyotes and bobcat, or you can go home, or you can chill at the house. I mean, or you can.
I'm sorry.
What's it cost to what?
What's it cost to shoot a bobcat?
Nothing.
Oh, really?
If you want to take it home, we will charge you for shipping it and stuff like that. But if you just kill it, that's fine by us. We try to do the predator control as well for the mule deer. So
okay, yeah.
So normally, you out. So it's free of charge.
Can we run through? I know the sheep hunts have got to be a little different. Can we run through that? Is it kind of the same process? I imagine coming there and everything is the same process, but is the scouting and all that the same with the cameras? Or
we don't have cameras for sheep. Normally we try to put the team in the ranch a day before or 2 days before, just to scout around, see if they find a big ram, see what's going on, where the sheep are moving, where they're not, just to get an idea before the hunter gets there.
And after
that, Well, yeah, the other thing is the same. I mean, we would pick you up in Hermosillo. Well, one of the ranches, we actually pick you up in Phoenix and we cross the border. The other ranch, you do fly to Hermosillo. Once we get there, we always check the rifles because for sheep hunting, we're normally killing them around 400, 500. So we want to make sure rifles are dialed in good. And this hunt is different. We do a lot of glassing. It's just not worth it to go up the mountain and just beat your hunters out. It's so they're not very tall mountains, but I don't know what's in them. They beat you up. I mean, if you go up there 2-3 days in a row, the fourth one, you're done. Okay. So we definitely glass a lot. Like we're up early. We glass if we can split our team because our team is big. It's me, my associate, the master guide, a driver, and the hunter. Okay. So the driver is also a spotter. I mean, so normally we divide. We take 2 guys, glass somewhere, 2 other guys with a hunter somewhere else, and we just glass a lot.
Let me ask you this: how are you? If cell phone signal's so bad, are you using radios out there? How's that?
Sometimes we use radios.
Okay.
We always have them just for if we need them, but we always have them with us.
Okay.
And if we spot something that looks good and it's too far, we'll get closer to it. And I mean, once we find the right one that we know we're gonna shoot or probably gonna shoot, we'll do the stock. We'll go up, but we usually wait till they lay down or till we semi-know their movement. If they're moving, we will not move. And we'll keep an eye on them. Because if you lose them, then it's trouble finding them back. So we'll definitely keep 1 or 2 guys on them all the time. And we'll try to get close and make the stock. And if we make the stock and we look at him again and we decide that he's the shooter, we go ahead and take it. And once we do, the rest of the crew goes up the mountain. They'll normally bring a cooler with a couple beers. It takes us a while to do the skinning and stuff.
Right. For anybody that doesn't really know, and I'm not sure I fully understand it because I've never hunted them, but how are you deciding what's going to be a shooter and what's not going to be a shooter? Is it by age or is it by?
I'd say it's by hunter.
Oh, okay.
Like every hunter has something in their mind.
So you don't have specific.
I mean, we try to go over 168 inches.
Okay.
But some hunters want them just bigger mass, maybe shorter, groomed a lot. Some guys don't care that much. Some guys love character and they want them to be broken up. It varies a lot. I mean, we're definitely looking for a mature ram and trying to make Boone and Crockett. That's always a goal. But some hunters, at the end of the day, who makes the final decision is always the hunter. Okay. Like we tell them what we think and what it is in our opinion, but at the end it's like if you have the decision to pull the trigger. I mean, it's your hunt at the end of the day, Yeah,
I'm wondering if you guys had like a minimum. Like I know a lot of outfits here will be like you can't shoot a deer under a certain size or whatever. So yeah, I think that's nice that they can choose because not every guy cares about how big it is.
Some guys love to do a long shot at a nice mature buck, and that's what they want. Yeah. So hey, it's fine by me. As long as it's a good buck. I mean, we're not going to let you shoot anything that's not good, or not mature. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's their call. Like we will tell them exactly what we think and what's our opinion of the animal. And normally, sheep does give you time to talk a little bit.
Yeah,
mule deer sometimes doesn't give you much time, to be honest. But the sheep, I mean, you're seeing it from far, you're stunning him, and then you get closer, and he doesn't know you're there. So you have time.
I just thought of this question: what do you do? And maybe you haven't encountered this yet. What do you do if a guy shoots one and he wounds it? You can't find it, or it runs off, and you never do find it. Does he get another shot, or is he done?
If there's blood drawn, we count it as a dead animal.
Okay.
We will do everything to find it. But that does not mean we're going to find it.
Have you ran into that?
Just once.
Yeah.
He wounded him. It was a mule deer. But, well, I told him not to shoot because it was facing us at 200 yards. he felt very confident. I told him not to because the buck didn't know we were there. He was not going to go anywhere. But he went ahead and took the shot anyways, and he just nipped him on the side here. The deer actually fell, and there was blood there and stuff, but we never, ever found him.
Oh, he fell and got back up?
Yeah, he fell back up. We saw a picture of him later, and he had a hole here, but it was just like a nip, but it opened the skin and touched a little bit of a rib, but that was it.
You think he lived?
He probably lived a while, but he probably died like 3-4 months after that. We had another sheep. Well, no, that was a mule deer. We had one sheep 3 years ago, far away, 600 and some yards. He hit him in the belly. It was a tough day, but we got him. Yeah. It was the day they forgot the backpack in the tub, but we got him at the end of the day.
That's good. That's always good. How are you guys getting them out of there? Are you packing them out in packs or?
Like I said, when we shoot, like normally I'll go up with the main guide and that's it. The rest of the team will stay down. But once we shoot the sheep, the rest of the team will come up with backpacks. We have 3 backpacks and we'll just divide it up in there. The hide, the horns, and the meat. Do
you notice that a lot of the clients want to be involved in cutting them up and cutting them and everything, or do they want to sit back?
They like to take the skin. Yes.
Yeah. They like to be getting.
They bring their knives just for that sometimes. Yeah, they like it.
I was wondering about that too. You never know. Some people get squeamish from that stuff. I don't know. It doesn't bother me, but some people are.
Yeah, they like it. I mean, we let them do whatever they want. Hey, go ahead.
Their hunt, their choice. Right?
It's their hunt. Yep. We had them cut the hide once, but hey, it's your sheep. I mean, taxidermy will do the job. I mean.
Do you guys offer any kind of bow hunting, or is that real big down there? Or
we do, honestly, just for mule deer. For sheep, I'm not, because we don't guarantee you a sheep, but we do guarantee you a shot at a mature sheep, and we'll do everything to get you sheep. And we've always gotten them the sheep. I mean, we can't guarantee it just because it's hunting, but
yeah,
I mean,
right.
The
Nothing's
odds
ever certain.
if we have to hunt more days, we'll hunt more days. I mean, we'll get you a sheep.
Okay.
And for bull hunting, we just are not that confident, of getting you that nice sheep. So we'd rather not. We could always do it but we'd have to write some terms, just to make sure we're both on the same page. For mule deer, we have done it and we've been successful. And per se, I would not take a bull hunter to the 10,000 acre ranch.
Oh, you're going to a smaller
But I would take him to the big ranch because he has very, very good odds of shooting a Pope and Young. He'll shoot a Pope and Young. Let me put it that way. I mean, he'll get a Pope and Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever have guys come down there with both? Maybe they want to shoot a bobcat or something with their bow. I don't know.
Well, when I hunt with both. I just like to have the option of the rifle if something. I mean, if a 200 incher pops out at 200 yards. I grab my rifle, and I did have last year a guy who brought his bow and he told me if I could lend him a rifle just in case. Okay. And he ended up shooting it with his bow, but we did have the option of the rifle. Just in case.
It's always nice to have it there.
It's always nice. I mean, you never know when a monster appears and you're probably not going to see him again. So if you get the chance, grab that rifle and just get over with it, in my opinion. But would there be every hunter is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Every hunter's mind is a different world.
Yeah, everybody's totally different. They got a total different objective, I'm sure. Everybody sees something different in their head of what they want to kill and how they want it to go.
Correct.
I imagine. Would it be hard for me to get a bow there? Is that regulated?
No, that's just like a knife. I mean, you just have to document it and that's fine.
I can just check it under my
just check it. Yeah, correct. Yeah. You just check it. Yeah, as a bag and that's it.
Okay.
No issues.
We're a little bit over an hour here. Would you have any questions for me? And if not, I will have you tell everybody your Instagram and your Facebook and your website for people that are like maybe just listening to the audio and not the actual video. That way that they can find you and look you
they
up.
Can search and see what we do and stuff like that. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and let them know everything and so they can get in contact with you. I also before you do that, I want to touch a little bit on your background back there. Can you tell me about some of those?
Yeah. Well, down here you have a jaguar, which is illegal nowadays, but it was shot back in the day by my dad.
Okay.
In Tamaulipas, south of Texas, but in Mexico. The other two those are two cougars. We have a blue new. We have a kudu behind my head. That's a Sonoran mule deer behind my head. It's a nice 4x4. We have a Sonora bighorn sheep right there too. We have an eland, the red hartebeest. They're mainly Africa, except the Sonoran desert and the muley.
That's an amazing wall. I would be super proud of that.
Yeah, they look good. All the animals look good, right? I love them.
Yeah,
I love horns.
Yeah. So if you want to tell everybody where to find you, we won't keep you too much longer, and I appreciate you taking the time too. So yeah.
Thank you, Adam. Our website is GuroOutfitters.com. That's our webpage. We have on that webpage you can find my email, you can find my cell phone, etc. But we also have Instagram. It's Guro Outfitters as well. And our email is info@GuroOutfitters.com.
Okay. Could you spell it out for them?
Yeah, it's GURO Outfitters.
Okay.
Guro Outfitters, like guru, but with an O at the end.
What would be the best way to reach you? Is it through your website or through Instagram? Can people find some of your hunts and stuff on Instagram?
Yeah, on my Instagram, you'll see pictures of our hunts and stuff. I'll check Instagram daily. So if you DM me through there, I'll definitely get in contact with you.
Okay. And then my last question is, how far out are you guys booked?
We have one sheep left for this year, and we might have 2 mule deer hunts left for this year.
Okay. So
that's it.
If you're interested, you can definitely get in this year.
Yeah, well, you can get in this year. Yeah.
Okay.
If somebody calls from the podcast, I'll throw in a discount.
Cool. I appreciate you taking the time, and guys, if you're listening, be sure to check out Rod's outfit and everything that he's got going there. I'm sure he's got pictures on his website of everything, and he can tell you. He's a super nice guy. He can tell you everything you need to know, and hopefully this podcast, because I had no idea about hunting down there or what any of it really consists of. I'm used to hunting in southern Indiana and Kentucky, so that's a whole new realm for me. So it's interesting to talk about that and kind of learn like different geographical locations and how people hunt in other places. I appreciate, again, you taking the time, and I'll catch up with you on Instagram. I'll be watching to see what your clients kill and everything. I'll be following along for sure.
We're going to try to post a little bit more, and we're going to try to videotape some and start a YouTube. Well, we have the YouTube channel, but there's only one video. We're going to try to put some more stuff out there,
Okay. Is your YouTube going to be under the same name probably?
Yeah, it's Guro Outfitters. Yeah, it's out there. There's a video of the Coos Ranch. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So if you guys want to check that out too, look them up on YouTube and maybe kind of get a feel of what everything looks like. Yep. And I appreciate it again, Rod, and I'll catch up with you on Instagram soon.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care.